Welcome back to the Joy for Jenna channel, Creating a Life-Giving Home. I am so excited that you are here. On this channel, I share homemaking, thrifty treasure hunting, and just joyful living. So today, I wanted to share with you probably my favorite thrift find of all time. And this was done this year. So come along as I share the story of my $3 dollhouse. And here we are. So I am a frequent guest of the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City. I'm fortunate enough to live within about a 40-minute drive, maybe even less, of the Goodwill bins. And so I try to go there once a week because I just love treasure hunting. Now, for a very long time, I had been hunting for a grand Victorian dollhouse for my daughter and I to do as a hobby together. I had always loved miniatures growing up, and I just really wanted to someday invest in a Victorian dollhouse that I could share with my daughter and we could do as a hobby together. So the day before I made this trip to the Goodwill bins, I actually had made an offer to someone on Facebook Marketplace who had posted their absolutely beautiful Victorian dollhouse, and they were selling it for $250. I made an offer, but it was too late, and the woman had already sold it by the time I could make an offer on it. And I was sad, but I thought, okay, well, actually good, because I really don't want to spend that much money, but it was so beautiful, and it was really what I was looking for. So the next day, I went to the Goodwill Outlet bins, and when I got there and I started kind of digging through the bins, to my surprise, I saw the base of what looked like the exact dollhouse I had made an offer on the day before. And I thought, oh, that's too bad. It's only the bottom of it. And then as I started digging through the bins, I realized that pieces of the dollhouse, it had been really badly broken and damaged. And it was in several pieces throughout many, many bins throughout the outlets, throughout the store. So I started really piecing it together, hoping that I would get enough to maybe have even part of the house, thinking that maybe we could build onto it. I spent about an hour digging through, and to my surprise, I was able to piece together most of the house. And I mean, I would find a window here and there. I would find part of the porch here and there. I would find pieces of the roof. I mean, it was a mess, and there were so many pieces to it. And I put it all on the scale when I finally thought I had found the entire house, and it was about $3 because this wood is so light and you pay per pound. So I was absolutely delighted, but knowing, I wasn't sure if I had everything to actually build the house structure, but I knew that I was not going to leave it behind and I was going to do something with it. And to my delight, when I came home and I hauled in all the pieces and I got out my glue gun and I assembled it, I was absolutely delighted with the fact that I was able to find 99.9% of the house. I was thrilled because when I say it was in pieces, and I regret not getting a picture of it in its original state, but I just didn't at the time. I really used a lot of hot glue to make this a sound, solid structure. And you can see that there are missing pieces to it if you look closely. So a lot of like that gingerbread trim on there, and there's a couple shingles and it's cracked, and there's even a little water damage in some places. But regardless, I had offered the day before to spend $250 on this exact house. And here I was able to bring home this awesome piece, assemble it myself, and what a story to be able to share that this was about to go into the landfill, and I was so lucky to come about it and piece it back together. And this will absolutely be a treasure in our home for years and years and years. Here I am doing some more work on it. So the paint that I used was actually just house paint that we had from around our own home. And here it is still being pieced together. So I had some missing pieces. Of course, in the front there, you can see on the porch, it was missing some of the railing, and up in the corner there, it was missing some of the shingles, and there was like a pretty weird gap. But as you'll see later on in this video, I was able to hide a lot of that with Dollhouse Ivy. Thank God for that, because it really is forgiving and it looks beautiful now. And here's my little helper. It was actually my son, who is 7, that really took to the dollhouse. He absolutely loved the construction part of it and rebuilding it and painting it. And he just absolutely loves to play with it now. And here is the finished product. And as you can see, the ivy, thank God for that ivy, because it really allowed me to cover up a lot of the mistakes. I loved the color of this, the blue and the white, and that sweet little rocking chair in there. It's just so beautiful, and I just feel so fortunate to have come upon it when I did. This was a really fun project. So let's go inside. All right, another bin story here. All of this furniture, this antique dollhouse furniture, came in a box from the bins. A couple of weeks later, after I got the dollhouse, I went back to the bins, and I found a small box of antique dollhouse furniture. And again, I paid, just a couple of dollars for it because it weighed like nothing. I just feel really blessed to come about that, because as you know, dollhouse furniture can be quite expensive. So how lucky to come upon the furnishings for this house. I also wanted to point out some of the other little unique items in here. I am fortunate that I had some pieces already miniature. So this chair in the back there in that nursery, we're still not quite 100% done with it yet, but that chair was actually made by my grandmother from a soda can. Really cool. And then this quilt on the bed in there was made by a dear friend of mine who also made this rug. Absolutely beautiful work. So a lot of love went into this piece, and I'm just really looking forward to adding to it and just, really enjoying it. Thank you so much for coming along today, and I hope that you will come back and that you will subscribe and that you will like, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much.